ロサンゼルスエンゼルスの大谷翔平は今年で契約最終年を迎えており、今オフにフリーエージェントとなる大谷の去就に全世界の野球ファンが注視しています。現地の情報では、大谷はエンゼルスから移籍するとの見方が強く、二刀流として球界を席巻していた大谷が抜けることは、エンゼルスにとって大きな穴となるのは間違いありません。エンゼルスの今季の先発投手の防御率は 4.47 で MLB 全体で19位。大谷の防御率 3.14 を含めてこの数字なので、大谷が移籍すると悪化すると考えられています。そんな中、エンゼルスのポッドキャスト番組ロックドーンエンジェルスでは、司会のマイク・フリッシュ氏とジョン・フリッシュ氏が今季大谷がエンゼルスにもたらした功績について振り返り、大谷残留を切望する声が聞かれていましたので、日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
Speaking of which, Shohei Ohtani, this one
comes.
is not going to be a surprise. A 3.97, a good grade there for an A plus. Who? I get we had 350 respondents, but who didn't give him a 4? Come on, I'm just kidding. Some of the comments, Mike, were MVP, the GOAT, obviously. And this one, there was a lot of this sentiment. Please stay, Shohei. Yeah. So, again, an A plus for Shohei. This is, again, not just starting pitching, but also on the hitting side, which he continued to do even after he got hurt until the oblique issue came up for him. But, Mike, what's your assessment of Shohei Ohtani's year? Even having taken the last, month off because he wasn't able to swing it, he's a lock for the MVP this season still.
Right.
What's your assessment of Shohei?
Man, it's a shame that he did hurt his arm because I think he was well on his way to having maybe one of his, if not his greatest pitching season. He was really well. And I know he wasn't at the strikeout level he was the year before, but I think that he was on the way to winning some games. And I mean, the fact that he had 10 wins and had to shut it down for the last month and a half is pretty remarkable for this guy. But I mean, he is the unicorn, right? And Shohei is just everything that you want in a starter. He's everything you want in an ace. The guy knows exactly what he wants to do out there. And then when something's not working, he pivots on the mound and figures out what will work. And when he gets to a place where, hey, there's some runners on, he gets to 97, 98, 99, 100, right? And so I love that he is able to do that. And as the innings went on, he can still do that. Shohei knows how to manage his body. He knows how to adjust when he needs to adjust. And he has the mental fortitude, the capacity to be able to say, here's what I need to do in this very moment. It's why when he had the blisters and had the cramps and all of that stuff, you could see the disappointment in him because that's not something that he was expecting to happen, obviously, but you could tell he was really frustrated with his body because he was ready to just continue to pitch. And I do believe he probably went out there more often than maybe he should have with some of the things that were happening to him, but he's Shohei and he wants to play. That's the thing I really will give honor to him is he really wants to be out there with the guys. Yeah. He really wants to play. And he doesn't see himself as this guy who's, set apart from the team. He sees himself as a team player. And you saw that when he was on the mound. And so I would love to have him back. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see him pitch in 2024, but I would love to have him back because I want to see what he does after 2024 because my confidence is in this guy figuring it out and being back on the mound. I think it might take maybe 1.5 to 2 years for him to get back to who he was as a pitcher, but I'm confident that this guy's going to figure it out. And when we talk about that bulldog, gritty, gutty mentality, he's the dude, right?
Oh yeah. Mike, one of the things that I think I'll put on my objective hat here and say, it's not a perfect 4.0. I remember how frustrated we were with the sweeper. We were frustrated with how unlucky he was getting with that sweeper and it was getting hitting around a lot,
especially at the beginning of the year, right?
He did struggle at the beginning of the year. So I think that's a fair assessment in regards to Shohei's on the mound performance. But then you think about the fact that they say this all the time, and I don't want to restate the obvious, but they say that he's so creative on the mound. And what I take to gather from that is he's going to show you the fastball and maybe the sweeper in the first 4 innings. And then suddenly when you think that you've got a lock on Shohei, he's going to throw that the splitter. He's going to throw that splitter and get you to swing right over it. And that's one thing that I don't think the Angels starting pitchers do well, Mike, is that they're showing all of their weapons right out of the gate when Shohei was very good at holding something back until he really needed it. And so that's something that I hope is passed on to the other starting pitchers in 2024. And honestly, even if Shohei doesn't pitch, I think he's still a great presence to have around our young guys next season if he decides to come back.
また、エンゼルスはすでにフィル・ネビン監督の解任も決定しており、ネビン氏の解任が大谷に与える影響について米メディア、マルカが言及しています。エンゼルスは2022年シーズン前にネビン氏を三塁ベースコーチに任命し、昨年6月にジョー・マドン氏を解雇すると、ネビン氏を監督に昇格させました。エンゼルスは2014年以来のプレーオフ進出を期待して2023年に彼を招聘しましたが、今季もプレーオフ進出を逃しています。さらに今季のトレードでは買い手に回り、多くの有望株と引き換えに他球団の選手を獲得したにもかかわらず、エンゼルスは最後の55試合で17勝しかできませんでした。多くの人は、大谷との再契約は難しいと見ています。また、エンゼルスに対して厳しい声も多く聞かれています。SNS のコメントをご紹介します。
エンゼルスにはこの2年間、大谷の FA のために残された時間は十分にあった。大谷も金額よりも勝ちたいことを明確にしていたし、トラウトも明言していた通り、やるべきことは勝ってポストシーズンに進むことだったことは分かりきっていた。にもかかわらず、采配や補強でベストを尽くしたとは到底言えない出来のシーズンを送った。これで大谷に来年こそはといったところで伝わるはずがない。彼が出て行っても誰にも文句を言う資格はないだろう。
エンゼルスほどいい加減な運営をするチームは他にない。 FA になる来季はちょうどいい機会だから、大谷はエンゼルスとはきっぱり縁を切ってもっとまともな球団に移籍してほしい。
戦力が他チームより劣るのに、監督の首だけを毎年変える弱小エンゼルス。惨敗の責任は監督にありと言っているのと同じこと。本来なら投打ともに積極補強しないミナシアン GM の責任は重大。特に先発中継ぎを抑えクローザーまでの投手陣に大なたで再整備しない限り、来季も負け越しでしょう。
などの声が聞かれていました。なお現在大谷は治療に専念しており、現地のライターの情報によると、
現在の大谷選手はリハビリ施設に行く時以外はほとんど自宅にこもっているそうです。理由は現地のパパラッチです。これまでも4、5人のパパラッチがいることはありましたが、ここ最近かなり増えており、自宅前に60人ものパパラッチが集結していることもあるそうです。
とのこと。
9月19日に手術を受けた大谷選手ですが、30日に本拠地アナハイムで行われた球団の表彰セレモニーに出席した際は、服で右肘のギブスは隠されていました。パパラッチはその腕の写真を撮るために、大谷選手が自宅から車で出かけるところを待っているそうです。これまでもパパラッチに追われることもありましたが、今回の数には大谷選手と通訳の水原一平さんも困惑していると聞いています。
とコメントしていました。あまりの活躍ぶりにパパラッチの数まで世界トップレベルの大谷。今は一日でも早くギブスが取れた元気な姿を見れることを祈るばかりです。これからも大谷の活躍から目が離せません。皆様からのコメントもお待ちしております。